Welcome to Rise Up in Business, the law podcast for small business owners. I'm your host, Tracy Myler-Crane. I'm a business lawyer, an entrepreneur, and very much a realist. Rise Up in Business is designed to share with small business owners important legal information and some clever tips and tricks in short and sharp episodes, no legal jargon. With this podcast, I want to empower small business owners to rise up and take control in their business. I'll be here every Wednesday to tell you what you need to know without sending you to sleep. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to the Rise Up in Business podcast. I'm really hoping that you're enjoying the very special guests that I'm bringing on this season, because I know I most certainly am. And today's chat is going to be so much fun. I just know it already. Today, I'm bringing on Danielle Colley. Danielle is an integrative life coach, and she's the founder of her own business, Your Good Life. And I think there's a little bit of magic in what Danielle does, and I can hand on heart say that from personal experience, which we'll chat a bit about now. I wanted very much to bring Danielle onto the podcast to share her with you, my listeners, because I just know that what we've got to talk about is going to resonate with so many people. Danielle, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really looking forward to this chat, and I know that it's going to be fun, and I know that so many listeners are going to get value out of this, because some of the things that I've experienced in business and you've helped me with are so common to so many people, and I didn't know that before.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, sometimes we see ourselves as, my business self, and then my relationship and family self, and then my health self. But in actual fact, we don't have issues in one area of our lives. We're not compartmentalized. So the issue in one area of your life really is an issue in all areas of your life.
And I didn't know that until I worked with you. So yes, I wholeheartedly agree with you now, but I would not have going back, say, 3 years. Tell us a bit about you and what you do, just for context for listeners.
Sure. So as you said, I'm an integrative life coach, and I help women who are feeling dissatisfied with their lives to really reach their full potential. And I help them to do that by getting rid of the debris from the past, and then really helping with the head trash and the self-doubt in the present in order to create a lovely, clear runway towards the future.
Gosh, you make that sound so easy. It's not easy, but gosh, it's worthwhile, and it's just brilliant. And the way you even, just listening to you say that, makes me feel so inspired, because I know it to be true.
Yeah.
I know it to be true. So for the benefit of listeners, I reached out to Danielle a couple of years ago to work through an issue I was having in my personal life that I thought, oh yeah, this will be fine. It's just a little itty bitty thing. And I'll just unpack that, because that's my personal life and it's very different to my professional life. I've always drawn a distinction between the two up until our work together. And through that, yes, we ticked that off, but as you know, we dug deeper into issues that I didn't know were there until you uncovered them and we worked through them. And then, holy moly, it just unleashed something that was holding me back in my business that I didn't even realize was, one, that I was being held back, or two, that it was holding me back. So it was just like this new world that you opened me up to. And I draw on that a lot. At least once a week I draw on the work that we did, and it was a long time ago, so it was profound for me.
Amazing. You've given me goosies. I got the goosies.
Yeah, and it's so true. It's so true. It was hard work.
I mean, often we don't take time to do the reflection on what is driving a lot of the beliefs that we have, or the behaviors that we have, what beliefs are driving the behaviors. So we kind of get stuck in these patterns of thinking or patterns of behavior without going back to that root cause. And, you say it's hard work, and it is to an extent, but do we also have a little bit of fun? Come on.
There was a lot of fun, and not only was there a lot of fun, and I look back now and think it's funny, but the concept of vulnerability, and you would remember this well when you tried to talk to me about, let's talk about being vulnerable. I've just gone, I don't do that. No, I don't, no. Total block. Like, you're kidding me. I've come this far in my career. I've got 2 little kids. I'm not vulnerability.
Not for me. Thank you.
No way. And what almost made me vomit in my mouth a little bit was the concept of self-love. I feel like I have massages. I get pedicures.
Surface
and
level self-love.
It was just unreal, and I didn't realize how much came up for me when we talked about those things. And so I didn't.
How are you going with vulnerability and self-love now? Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm totally down with it.
Yeah.
See?
Music to my ears.
Yeah, it's a constant, and I feel so safe in that space. It just works for me, but it has a direct correlation to my business and the way I show up in my business and the value I offer my clients in my business and the returns in my business. So I've noticed a direct correlation. And for me, I just feel like a new person, honestly. It just the work keeps continuing. I keep doing it, and it's been an absolute game changer, I think is an understatement in my world. So that's why I wanted to bring you on and share you with my listeners, because there are people that I talk to and people that give me regular feedback in relation to the podcast episodes. And I'm thinking of them now as we're having this chat, and I know that the ears are going to be pricked going, oh, this might be something I need to explore. And it is. And the other big thing that I took away and learnt with you is meditation. It was just not something I was ever willing to try before we did some work together, because I thought, oh, it's the most ineffective and inefficient use of time. It's a waste. I can't do it.
No good at it. I can't do it, so I'm not.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so not only did we work through that together, which I loved, you have prepared a meditation. I know you've done more than one, but there was some that I listened to that are by far the best meditations that I've listened to. And I know that you're going to share a link with us for that, because
the self-love mojo activation. We'll share a link to that, so all your listeners can get up in a bit of mojo activation. And really, I mean, the whole idea of meditation, we often think, we need to go into, trance and have hours and hours of breathing and letting go of all of our thoughts. And, I think that there is like a lot of pressure on meditation, doing it right or doing it a certain way, when in actual fact, what we're really doing is just taking a few moments out of our usually very busy schedule and very, very busy circus brains to chill, to breathe, to close a couple of tabs, to reset, recenter, and get ready to go again,
And that, I think, is why I was able to actually be open to doing it, because for me, you had just said to me, just go sit outside with no phone and a cup of tea for 10 minutes. And I was like, I can do that. It was that you took the pressure off. And from there, welcome to the world of meditation for me. It makes so much difference to my day. And sometimes it is just a couple of minutes, and sometimes that's enough.
Absolutely. I don't, I have this idea that, the ideal me would be doing 20 minutes a day, but I really don't. I try to fit in, 5 to 7 minutes of breath work after I do my exercise in the morning. Some days I win, and other days I look at the clock 500 times and I'm like, come on, let's get on with this day. It's about a practice of I guess giving yourself the gift of a little bit of quiet time. We're always so reactive and responsive. We've got our phones in our hands all the time. Everybody wants a piece of us. It's just having that little moment, taking little moments in the day.
And as business owners, that's so priceless, because we're doing all the things, wearing all the hats, doing all the things all the time. It makes a big difference. And I would never have thought that, and I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it. So I'm grateful and delighted to be able to pop that link in the show notes for people to access, and they can see for themselves.
Yeah, fabulous.
So tell us, how can people work with you in terms of your offerings? And I know there's a lot on your webpage, and we'll put the details to your webpage in the show notes as well, but give us a bit of an overview.
Sure. So predominantly right now, although I am creating a new program, which is all very exciting, it's a little bit under wraps right now, but primarily I'm working one-on-one with my Your Good Life Breakthrough program. And that is a personalized one-on-one program, which goes for about 8 to 10 weeks. It depends on the program and the person and how quickly they move through it. But that's basically helping people with a really specific challenge. Like they come to me with an issue or a challenge or a stuckness in their life where they're really feeling they can't progress beyond that. So when we work through it and work through the root causes, what's underneath that, what is informing the behaviors and the patterns that are driving what's going on in your current situation, then we can really create the shifts required to move towards the life that you desire. Yeah, predominantly working one-on-one at the moment. If people want just a little taste test of what I do, I've got a fabulous page, a community on Facebook called the Your Good Life Collective. And there's, a little bit of video action in there, lots of inspirational ideas and really, workable, usable concepts to adopt into your daily thinking and daily lives, straight away.
I love that. And I would highly recommend that anybody that's even a little bit curious about this chat and what Danielle does to dive in there and take a look at that. It would be very worthwhile. Thank you for sharing that, and we'll put the details to that in the show notes as well. And of course, you and I have also worked together in another capacity, haven't we? And
yes, I believe the way that you would express it is you've saved my bacon.
Okay. Oh, I love that. So you've been my client as well. So I've helped you obviously with your contracts and your legal documents, and then also helped you out of a potentially tricky situation that you had found yourself in. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, indeed. I had committed to working with a mentor, and it was a year-long program, and I paid up front. And then the mentor didn't come through with the goods, and that's okay. Perhaps there wasn't enough planning or wasn't enough substance to what was going on. But when I expressed my displeasure with that or dissatisfaction with that and asked for a refund, as we were only halfway through, just a partial refund, then I actually found myself at the pointy end of some bullying. So although there was a contract in place with this person, the contract was, as you said, pretty flimsy. We were able to really go back to the legalities, fall back on what was the commitment that we both made to each other, and who had upheld what and who had not upheld what. So, you really did save my bacon on that, because I did get the partial refund. And more than that, I felt like I had been able to take back some of the power from someone who had been trying to take advantage of me financially, which nobody enjoys that feeling. So it was really good. And through that process, I think it was only then, after having had that experience, that I realized I actually, as a practitioner who highly believes in what I do and the professionalism of my industry, I needed to have contracts to protect my clients and myself from anything like that ever happening. And that is, my commitment to them as much as their commitment to me. I want to be held accountable by a signed document that, an agreement that we have at the beginning of working together. I think that it's prudent for everyone. So we know what the expectation is.
I love that. And I talk a lot about, I talk a lot about prevention being better than cure. And that's why we get our documents together. And we also want to be professional, and we want to meet all of our legal obligations. Yes, of course, goes without saying. But you've hit the nail on the head as well, in that the third, just as important reason we want to do all this is professionalism, because you value yourself and
I have also needed to fall back on it, Tracy. There have been times where clients have wanted to alter what the agreement was, or had not properly understood something within the agreement. And it's really fabulous to just be able to say, okay, cool, let's just go back to the contract that, we've both signed and take a look at that. And because it's all there, it's all there. And the way that you've created it and the way that you've worded it is all really understandable. And that's what I love about your work as well. Working with you, it's not really highbrow legal jargon. You always make it really understandable and make it a safe and easy practice for the people that you work with, but also for the people receiving any of the contracts and stuff.
Oh, that makes me so happy. That is it. That is what I aim to achieve. And so I'm so delighted to hear you say that. Thank you for that beautiful feedback. Mission accomplished. I love that. Like you, with the work you do, educating and empowering your people, I am all about educating and empowering my people. And I just love hearing you say that, because I know that I'm hitting the mark. So Yes.
On that, I mean, educating and empowering, I mean, that's really the heart of everything that, both of us do. My overarching mission, my big vision, is to really create a greater equality in the sexes by helping to empower women while women are still struggling with their confidence, with their self-sabotage, with head trash that is preventing us from really rising up and elevating to that full potential, then the chance of being equals in business or being able to be seen as in your full power in your business, in your industry, in your relationships, whatever, if you're not really feeling it, then it's hard for others to really see it in you, right?
Totally. Love that. Could not agree with you more. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm so grateful, and I'm so delighted to be able to share real life examples like this with my listeners and clients. Now, as you know, I have been ending all of these episodes with 3 quick and snappy questions, and I'm going to hit you up when you're ready. All right, first one. What is the best business advice you have received?
Get a coach.
I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
Love it.
Get a
Love
coach.
it.
I've always got multiple coaches. Yep, get a coach.
Love it. Agree with that. Second one, what is the worst business advice you have received?
I really struggled with this. I think, it's kind of subjective. I've had lots of advice that resonated for a minute and then it didn't resonate. So it was okay advice until it wasn't okay advice. So I think coming back to being able to really work out what is in alignment with you and who is in alignment with you, because I don't know if there is really any terrible advice. Is just advice that doesn't work for your business or isn't appropriate for you.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. I understand.
Am I being Switzerland? Am I being a bit...
No. That's very fair. I have no problem with that answer. And the last one is, if you had the chance, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh, man. Chill out. Don't stress so much and trust that everything's going to work out okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Brilliant answers. Thank you so much. We're going to include the link to your beautiful meditation in the show notes, the website. What's your Insta handle so where people know where to find you on Instagram?
Sure. I'm @your.good.life.
Okay. Might just jump down to the show notes for that one.
That was really complicated. It's Your Good Life with dots in between.
Excellent.
You can also find me at Your Good Life Collective on Facebook, but I also have the Your Good Life with Danielle Colley page. So wherever you want to find me, if you want to jump on my mailing list, you can jump on over to my page, jump on over to my website, yourgoodlife.com.au. Beautiful.
Thank you, Danielle, for joining me. I really appreciate it. This has been such fun.
That's my absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
That's it for today's episode. Short and sharp, just like I promised. If you liked the episode, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes, and I would be most grateful if you would leave a review on Apple Podcasts. As always, remember to keep your business legals in order with my annual legal checklist. You can grab your free copy by heading over to my website, tmsolicitor.com.au/checklist. I'll catch you next week. Thanks so much for listening.